welcome you all in the first lecture of set theory. So today we will start what is the sets and the different types of sets. So first of all, what is a set? A set is a well-defined collection of objects called elements or members of that set. A specific set that can be defined in two ways. The first one, if there are only a few elements, and those can be listed individually by writing them between curly braces and placing commas between them, then that is the method to write down the set. For example, here within the curly bracket the elements are 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. This is the one way to write down the set. Another way is, the second way is of writing set is to use a property that defines elements of the set. For example, here is the set x where x is odd and that x lies within 0 and 100. So this is the second notation to write down the set. If x is an element of a set, then it can be written as that x belongs to A. And if x is not an element of A, then it can be written as x doesn't belong to the set A. There are some special sets in mathematics. The standard notations to define those ones is capital N. N is said to be the set of natural numbers. Capital Z, that is the set of all integers. Capital Q, the set of all rational numbers. Capital R, the set of all real numbers. And capital C, the set of all complex numbers. Now come to the types of sets. First is subset. If every element of a set A is also an element of set B, then we say that A is a subset of the set B. It is denoted as A is a subset of B. For example, if you are having a set A as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 and another set B as 1, 2, 3, 4. So here you can see that all elements of B are the elements of A. So here B is a subset of A. Now proper subset, if A and B are two sets, then A is called the proper subset of B if A is a subset of B but B is a subset of A. That is, A is not is equal to B. The symbol subset is used to denote the proper subset. Symbolically it will be written as A is a subset of proper subset of B. For example, here A, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 and B 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So we observe here that all elements of A are present in B, but the element 5, which is of set B, is not present in set A. So we say that A is a proper subset of B and it is written as A subset of B. Here A is not equals to B, so that is called the proper subset. Equal sets. Two sets A and B are called equal if they have equal number and similar type of elements. That is, A is a subset of B and B is a subset of A, then it implies that A is equals to B. For example, if A is 1, 3, 4, 5 and 6 and B is a set 4, 1, 5, 6 and 3, then here you can see that both the elements are having equal number of elements and similar type of the elements. So A and B here are equal sets. Now equivalent sets. An equivalent set is simply a set with an equal number of elements. Here the sets do not have the same exact elements. They are having just the same number of elements. For example, a set A which is A, B, C, D and E and a set B which is January, February, March, April and May. So here you can see that the set A and B, they are having the completely different elements, but they are having the same amount of elements, which is 5. So set A contains 5 letters and set B that contains 5 months. So that makes them equivalent sets. The number of subsets of a given set. If a set contains n elements, then the number of subsets of the set is 2 raised to the power n. And the number of proper subsets of the set, that is equal to 2 raised to the power n minus 1. For example, if here the set A is having 2 elements P and Q, then the proper subsets of A will be 2 raised to the power 2 minus 1, that is 4 minus 1, which is equals to 3. If you want to write down the proper only the subsets of that set, then that will be equal to 2 raised to the power 2, which will be equal to 4. So numbers of subsets of a set having elements 2 is equal to 4, and the proper subsets, they will be equals to 3. Now the empty sets. A set which does not contain any element, that is called empty set or null set or void set, and it is denoted by either the phi or the only within the empty curly braces. For example, the set of whole numbers less than 0, that will be a null set. Here, since you know that no whole number is less than 0, therefore it is an empty set. A capital N, a set which is a natural number, lies within 3 and 4. So there is no natural number that will lie between 3 and 4. That means that will be a null set. Let capital A, the set X which lies within 2 and 3, and X is a natural number. So again that will be the empty set, since there is no natural number between 2 and 3. Singleton set. A singleton set is a set containing exactly one element. For example, B is a set X. X is a even prime number. So here B is a singleton set since there is only one prime number which is even, and that is only 2. So capital B, the set, that is a singleton set. Another example with capital A as X. X is neither prime nor composite. So it is a singleton set containing only one element, which is 1. Next is the finite set. A set which contains a definite number of elements, that is called a finite set. So here empty set, that is also a finite set. For example, the set of all colors in the rainbow, that will be finite, so that is a finite set. Here capital N, X is a natural number and X is less than 7. So that will be finite, since there is only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 in that set. So that will be the finite set. A set P which is having the numbers from starting from 2 to 97. So that will be the finite set. Now the infinite set. The set whose elements cannot be listed. That is the set containing never ending elements. That is called an infinite set. For example, set of all points in a plane. So there that will be the infinite set. And set of all prime numbers. Here X which is equals to 2n. The set capital B, that will also be the infinite set. For the cardinal number of a set. The number of distinct elements in a given set A is called the cardinal number of A, and it is denoted by n of A. For example, a set A which is X belongs to the natural number and X is less than 5. That means A is having the elements 1, 2, 3 and 4. So here the cardinality of A is 4, or the cardinal number of the set A is 4. Another example, the capital B, the set of letters in the word algebra. So here the set B is written down as A, L, G, E, B, R, and A is again repeated. The set will be A, L, G, E, B, R. So here the cardinal number of the set B is 6. Disjoint sets. Two sets A and B are said to be disjoint if they do not have any element in common. That is said to be the disjoint sets. For example, there are two sets, capital A and capital B. The capital A which is X and X is a prime number, and capital B where X is a composite number. So clearly A and B, they do not have any element in common, so that are called the disjoint sets. Power set. The collection of all subsets of a set is called the power set of A. It is denoted by capital P of A. In that power set, every element is a set. For example, consider a set A which is having two elements P and Q. Then all the subsets of the set A will be phi, P, the set P, the set Q, and the set containing PQ both. So here the power set can be written as phi, P, Q and PQ. So the number of elements in the power set, that will be equal to 1, 2, 3 and 4. And 4 could be written down as 2 into 2. So here in general, the cardinal number of the power set will be equal to 2 into m, where m is the number of elements in the set A. Universal set. A set which contains all the elements of other given set is called a universal set. And the symbol for denoting that universal set is either capital U or psi. For example, suppose there are three sets, capital A, capital B and capital C. Capital A is having the elements 1, 2, 3, B is having 2, 3, 4 and C is having the elements 3, 5 and 7. Then capital U, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 7. That will be the universal set for all these three sets, since all the sets they are containing in U. So U is a universal set here. Second example, where P is a set of whole numbers and Q is a set of all negative numbers. Then the universal set is a set of all integers. In the third example, there is a set A containing the elements A, B, C, the set B containing the elements D, E, and the set C containing the element F, G, H and I. So here we can write down the universal set as A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, since all the sets A, B and C, they are included in the universal set capital U. That's the end for today's lecture. Thank you.